HCS Anaheim is presented by AMD, Astro Gaming, the Marines, Zowie, and Xbox Plays.
Hello and welcome to sunny California, HCS Anaheim Regional Finals. I'm Sharzy1, Budget Sims, joined by...
I am Discount Lottie, aka Echidna, aka Petite Blonde. I'm a woman of many names, you know, but today I am a caster on the B stream.
She goes by many names, but we're going to stick with Dollar Lottie maybe. That'll be the one for me. You might notice we're sporting some Sizzle Sticks merch, you know. Get in touch if you're looking to get yourself some of those. And we also got someone to model them as well, so... step on up. Bosh. More of that. More of this. And some spins. That's enough from you, Dan. That's enough from you, Dan.
Alright, get him out. Get this guy out of here.
Dan, that's enough. Get out of here. Thank you very much. It's so hard to get the staff around these days. Lottie, Dollar Lottie, I was at home on the sofa, miserable. I wasn't going to be here. But then thanks to a phone call from an unlikely source, Bill Gates called me up. He said, listen, we need you on the stream. Get over there, get chit-chatting, get talking. And now here I am to cast some Halo. I'm excited. How are you feeling?
I'm super excited. You know, the weather outside is great. Obviously, I'm not outside because I'm super pasty. But, you know, yeah. I'm excited for, like, a great weekend of Halo. This is going to be super exciting.
Speaking of the sun and being pasty, I was pasty when I arrived. As we look at the pools, I'm very sunburnt now. So some serious groups there. Pool A, a massive group of death. You're looking at Cloud9, Sentinels, Oxygen, and Esports Arena Red. I would not like to be those guys because that's going to be a tough day for them. Also, you can see Pool B was the one we're going to be paying attention to today. FaZe, Spacestation, G1, and Fnatic. And boy, oh boy, am I looking forward to casting over some Eric Rona gameplay all the way from Apex Legends and back to where he belongs. He's back home, baby, doing some Halo stuff. So looking forward to seeing that. We can talk about, obviously, the prize pool as well. It's been up thanks to crowdfunding, which is really, really exciting. Cannot wait to see exactly what way it's going to shake out. Is Cloud9 going to get their hands on it? Here's a look at what way it's going to shake out, what games are going to be on stream for us. We've obviously got 12 o'clock right now. I'm on Irish time still, so that's 8 p.m. for me, 8 p.m. for the guys at home in Europe. Spacestation up against G1 is going to be our game 1. Pioneers versus XSET game 2. Then we'll be back, me and Echidna. FaZe Clan versus G1, super excited for that. eUnited versus XSET. Then FaZe against Spacestation, and to close out the day, Optic versus G2. Boy, oh boy, what a game that's going to be. And of course, if you want to keep up to date on all the streams, if perhaps we're showing a game that you're not interested in, you would just solely want to watch Optic, that's fair too. There's all those streams you can check out if you want to. So twitch.tv/Halo, twitch.tv/Xbox, and of course you have the C&D streams that will not be casted. And speaking of the prize pool, 45k, and with thanks to crowdfunding, from 125k up to 150k. Jen, that's a lot of money. That's eye-watering.
And that is a lot of money. And you know what? I contributed to that. You know, I bought a lot of stuff in the shop, so I'm glad we were able to boost the prize pool for all the players here. It's
good to see that my money on armor coatings and all sorts of things are going towards the players and not back into my pocket. So maybe I have to talk to some of the HCS guys of how I can maybe get some refunds, particularly on the likes of Navi, who are not performing very well, and maybe I have to get a refund on that. But turning our attentions to, of course, the regionals, all North American teams here today, 16 teams, all battling it out, going to war for that prize pool, that top 1 place, and of course, bragging rights as well. Up first, though, to talk about, we've got G1 and Spacestation. Here's some interesting stats. Look at win rate ratios. That's really hard to say when you put it all together. 50% win rate for the boys on Spacestation, 25% for G1. Of course, Spacestation playing against typically some more tougher opponents, but this is our Thursday Pro Series, so we're looking at 7th seed up against 9th through 12th, so there's a chance there's an upset on the cards here, Jen.
Yeah, as you can tell, you know, Spacestation has a 50% win rate, but they have not played G1 yet, so this game can go either way, honestly, so I'm excited to watch this.
A real question mark, it must be said. We don't have any scrim results. These two teams have never played against each other in competitive play, nor in scrim, so they've completely avoided each other. Is that by choice? I don't know. We'll have to soon find out. But one thing or another, they're going to clash here today. Tylenol, Ace, Flazen, and Zion are going to be your team of 4 to try and push themselves even further than they went in Rally. So they're hoping to at least make top 6 with a bit of luck. Maybe they can get themselves there. G1, Squally, Devon, Marbs, and Ali, the artist formerly known as Commonly. Jen, what can you tell me about him?
You know, he's an X Games gold medalist. I feel like that's like his main point. And
X Games gold medalist, dead right. Really hard to get your hands on those sorts of things, and we've seen lots of stuff back then. Of course, team with Roy and Lunchbox to pick himself up that snipe down as well, and lots of drama way back then. So all around the lethal team change errors. That seems so long ago now, looking at that. But now we've got Halo Infinite, so looking forward to sinking our teeth into this, and perhaps looking at the bracket and what way it's going to shake out, and the map pool, of course, as well. Up first, we have got Live Fire Oddball. It's going to be a bit back and forth. We don't know what way it's going to shake out. Of course, there is no past or previous history with these two teams, so a real question mark and up in the air for what way it's going to shake out. But one way or another, Jen, what way do you see it going?
From what I've heard, G1 has been performing super well in their scrims, but SSG, I want to say, is the better opponent, I would say, in this. So I want to say SSG is going to take this first map. You know, they have Tylenol, who has a very impressive KD, plays on a high sense. You know, he slays out for his team, allowing them to, hold the ball and stuff like that. So my money's on SSG for this one.
Money on SSG, and it's very hard to bet against them. They've been formidable so far towards these Thursday Cups, so I'm really looking forward to seeing how they get on. You really want to start off in pools, Jen, getting yourself, for confidence reasons alone. Getting that first win on the board can be so important, because you definitely don't want to finish 4th, because if that happens, of course, you'll be heading straight down to the losers bracket if you finish in 4th. Of course, first seed, that guarantees you straight into winners round 2, so you avoid all that mismatch and that shenanigans over towards winners round 1. So 2nd and 3rd seed, they'll be playing then for winners round 1 places, so you really want to avoid that 4th seed. You don't want to be the whipping boy of the group.
Agreed 100%. So both teams have to come out super strong in this Live Fire Oddball here.
Yeah, and listen, let's talk about Tylenol. He's been a really important player for this team. They really need him to be singing and hitting, firing all cylinders almost, if they're going to perform really well.
Oh, for sure. Like, as we were saying, he has a very impressive KD. You know, he really puts down, like, the shots for his team, slays out. So I think he's going to be a guy to watch for sure on SSG during this series.
Recently joined, of course, you can see there some lovely stats. 1.42 KD, really impressive. And 50% accuracy, though. So that goes to show he really does have that high sensitivity like you were talking about.
Oh, for sure. And look at those average kills per game, 18.7. That is very impressive. Oof. So I'm excited to watch. I hope we start off with his POV going into this series.
One thing's for damn sure, the boy can shoot. We'll be looking forward to seeing exactly if he can hit the targets. And with Live Fire coming up first, we're going to see a lot of sniper rifle gameplays. And we'll be hoping to see if he can peel some wigs, pop some skulls. No doubt he's going to be looking to try and be on his best behavior and maybe cause a little bit of ruckus for G1. But a tough, a bit of a banana skin here for SSG, because they've never played G1 before, so they don't know what to do with it.
If they just play together, get map control and control the power weapons, I think they have a really good shot. It doesn't matter if they've played them before. I think if they just play their game, they got this in the bag. So
you heard it from Jen. Play the game, win the game. It's that simple for SSG. If they avoid all the mind games and perhaps get yourself cooking right off the bat, that's going to be exactly what they need to do. And Jen, we're looking at Live Fire. It's going to be a best of 5 series as well, which is great for pool play. Some weapons to talk about. Some of the likes of the overshield, the camouflage also can be there. Sniper rifle is going to be huge for one of these teams.
Oh, for sure, especially with Tylenol. The sniper rifle in his hands, he can really open up opportunities for his team to, score some points with the oddball and just keep everyone on their death screen on G1. So get the sniper rifle, win the game, in my opinion.
Get the sniper rifle, win the game, unless it's in my hands, because I tell you something, I'm doing nothing but windmills. I might power my own setup with my windmills, Jen.
I mean, as long as you waste the ammo and the other team doesn't get it, that's a win, right?
Well, throw the oddball off the map, I'm throwing the sniper rifle off the map. That's my key to success.
Everyone has their strats. I'm not knocking it.
I'm not sure my team will agree, but MMR has been tough, Jen. I'll tell you something, I've slipped out of Onyx. I'm not proud to say it. I'm all the way down to Diamond 5. It's been rough out here.
We can't all be as good as me, honestly, so don't beat yourself up too much.
I will.
Oh.
I bloody will.
Okay.
I'm feeling bad about myself. Taking a look at it then, Slayer Streets is going to be our game 2. Strongholds recharge. CTF Aquarius if required. If we don't get that clean sweep, and then Slayer on Bazaar to finish us off and round us up. Is there any game type there that you're looking forward to watching, Jen?
I'm really looking forward to Strongholds on recharge. I love seeing players, especially super talented ones like Tylenol and Lucid, just use that shock rifle. It's so entertaining to watch. So I'm excited for Strongholds recharge.
that shock rifle can be so important, frying people out of their skins. And of course, you've got other things to deal with as well as utility to use. You have that repulsor we're seeing players use time and time again, pushing people off the map like a Jedi push.
Oh yes, and there is an energy sword. You know,
We don't talk about it.
We don't talk about it.
We don't talk about it. It's too powerful. Don't talk.
Yes, if you pick it up, especially like I get a lot of teammates in matchmaking. My teammates are allowed to pick it up. The other team is not. It's
No.
very dishonorable. Honestly.
It's a rule of thumb that my teammate can use it to their advantage, but
Yes.
anybody opposite team is immediately cheesing me from the get-go.
No, but I'm super excited to watch that game.
Yeah, we've got obviously grapple hooks as well. Like you say, players like Lucid, Tylenol, they've been so good with swinging from different trajectories, getting themselves different lines of sight, and they can be so important for holding down lanes for their team.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane, like the kind of movement these guys have, especially like, I mean, we're a couple months into this game, but it's insane, like the kind of things that they come up with and how they break setups with these equipments and power weapons. It's nuts.
We're seeing players evolve plays all the time. We're seeing people jumping off boxes, sliding up walls. I don't know how to do it. My thumbs don't coordinate that sort of way. My brain doesn't work for that. But super impressive nonetheless. And we're talking about SSG. You expect them to come out on top. Do you think it's going to be a close series? Or do you think it might be a bit of a whitewash and maybe SSG will cook from the get-go?
Game 2 is a slayer.
Yeah.
So I think it can go either way for that. I want to say it's like a quick, actually I hope it's like a 3-1. I think we get like, I hope G1 takes at least one map off of them and we get an Aquarius CTF. Aquarius CTF is one of my favorite maps in game type, so I kind of want to see it in this series.
Well, you've heard to hear. We need to see an Aquarius CTF, so we don't want to see a clean sweep. We want to see get all the way to Aquarius CTF so we can cast over that, because of course it is one of my favorite game types as well. Capture the flag. Aquarius plays like a traditional Halo map,
Yes.
unlike the likes of Bazaar, which seems to slow down at times, but Aquarius can be so good. Of course, controlling that car side of the map too.
For sure. Aquarius kind of reminds me of Midship, and for all my Halo 5 players out there, reminds me of Truth, you know. It just plays so well. You know, you want to get like those top mid positions. You want to secure the camouflage, and it makes for like a lot of great highlight reels, especially in that map.
Well, speaking of highlight reels, there is the sniper rifle. Are we going to see some spuds getting pop-a-rooed?
Oh, I hope so.
The dummy nades, that's what we're ordering. Add that to our basket. Put that in the cart when we're going to check out. We need to see some headshots. Oddball, though, can be so important to get that tower set up. We see those drop shields, not utilized too much, but they can be detrimental to any team trying to make a push. If you can drop that down, provide yourself some extra cover. This is going to be hot and heavy. These two teams are going to look to slug it out, get in the trenches nice and early, and of course, it's going to be so important. You don't want to start the day with a loss here, Jen.
Oh, for sure. What is your ideal setup for this map?
I'm thinking tower side is really important for teams. Like I think out of necessity, sometimes you're forced to bring it towards garage, but the problem is that you can get stuck in there, and if you lose the ball, you can see the possession of it. You're in big trouble of trying to break that setup. But if you get it over the tower, you always have that option to play the ball if you need to, Jen.
Oh, for sure. Can you repeat that for my random matchmaking teammates, because they love holding it, you know, bottom mid garage where you can't play it and end up losing.
Oh, I'm convinced that my matchmaking teammates are actually all bots from the get-go. So even if I did repeat it, it'd be a waste of time. I always play the oddball because it's super important to win the game, but teammates don't seem to understand that, Jen.
No, they do not. But I agree with you holding a tower. I love holding up top tower and having the sniper kind of just patrol around and just pick off anyone that's trying to like push me. You throw the ball off the edge when you need to. It's definitely my go-to setup is tower side.
Sniper picking off people as they push. You've obviously never seen my gameplay, but here it is. Game 1 of our pooled best of 5 is going to be live fire oddball. What a game it's going to be, and we've already gotten up hot and heavy off the start here. 3 members down here for Space Station. Not the best start here, Jen.
Oh, definitely not. G1 has the ball bottom mid, drops to fight this player. Tylenol actually gets a double kill. Goes for the triple, falls to pre-Devinator. Great kill by him. Gets the double. Can he go for the triple? Almost gets it on Ace. Ace lives and is able to grab... Actually, I don't even think he grabbed that overshield there. No, it's still up.
We might have seen an overshield burn, but there we have it. It has been eventually popped into the chest of Marbs. What can he do with it here? Pushing over towards dummy nades. He sees a couple of players positioned top middle. That information is going to come through. Getting tagged up a little bit in the back. Tylenol caught with his pants down. It could turn this into a double kill, and does. Big plays out of Marbs.
He drops bottom mid, sees 2 players of Space Station, able to pick off both of them, Squally. And he grabs the ball and is bringing it to that tower side like we were talking about before the game. Great setup.
This can be so important. We spoke about how pivotal it can be to win a game, and already racking up some time. And 4 members alive for G1, but Space Station go 2 members down. This is that question mark now. This is to test your mettle. What can you do when your back's against the walls? When you're playing against a team that's an unknown factor, they're a bit of a question mark. You've never scrimmed against them before. How do you break that setup? Sniper rifle in the hands then of Ali. What can he do with it? we mentioned before briefly, X Games gold medalist, and how he's going to need all that experience that he has and can bring to the table. 2 members down though, and we're going to see the first initial play ball, but 28 seconds already on the clock here, Jen.
We got Marbs fighting back tower. I don't think he knows that there was a sniper dropped. I'm not sure if anyone was able to pick that up, but Ali actually fell with it back there.
Ali unable to do the desired effect that he would have liked on the map, to get that sniper rifle into his hands and do the damage. Unfortunately, he does fall, but they've got a decent amount of time in the meantime. Another overshield is going to pop up here, so are we going to see back-to-back ones for G1, or will Spacestation be able to get their hands on it? No, Tylenol, last man alive, not going to be in a position to get him, but also Marb's last man alive, so it's Tylenol, who we highlighted before the game, is going to be so important. He's got that overshield.
Yeah, that was a great play by Spacestation. I think there was they had 3 up for G1, and they all fell to Spacestation, and Spacestation obviously was able to grab that OS, and he has the heat wave, so this could be super deadly for G1 here.
It's the opportunity here then. Can Spacestation claw themselves right back into this game? Not down by too many points here. Not a significant margin. It's unable and unfathomable to drop it back, but killing spree locked in for Tylenol. That's exactly what we expected to see from him. Lan is a different beast, and he's performing out of his skin already.
It's just an absolute bloodbath here in A by the tunnel. Ace rotating the ball back green. I kind of like this, you know, there's like a spot to drop it if all of his teammates go down, you know, play the ball.
Looking over towards the stats as well, Jen, we're seeing Flazen. He's having a bit of a struggle game here, 1 and 5. That could be detrimental for his team. Ace has his hands on the ball here, racking up some points all the while. Also has that shock, it would seem. He has that shotgun in his back pocket, unable to do anything with it. 4 dead momentarily as it would seem Tylenol is going to finally hit the respawn screen, and a triple kill here for Pre-Devinator. And boy, oh boy, he's got the sniper rifle looking to pop some skulls.
Those were great kills there. Hopefully it translates to a lot of ball time. It looks like they're holding A pretty well here. He still has some sniper ammo.
Over towards back garage we spoke about how you can sometimes get trapped in there and hand the initiative back over to your team, but needs must here, and they've very slowly starting to tip over towards that 50-point threshold, and Ali puts some shots down, gets a kill, gets traded out. Unfortunately for him, not able to do too much more, but Pre-Devinator locks in that headshot, gets himself a killing spree before ultimately being put in the grave, but he's done enough damage there.
Yeah, those were some great plays. I love how he was sniping top sandbags. That's such a great power position to hold. You know, if you just keep people off the sandbags, you can get so much ball time in back A.
It's very important to claim that real estate over towards the top sandbags. The minute you give that up, unfortunately for you, your setup crumbles. It goes to dust. We're seeing Heatwave in the back pocket here, trying to fry, and does Pre-Devinator. Flazen, unfortunately, the victim there. Pre-Devinator will ultimately get traded out by Ace, but it's back and forth here, but the worst seed here, having the better of the early engagements. And Tylenol now. What can he do over towards that sandbags area? Pre-nade goes down. Ali's soaring at him. He does fly, but he's swatted out of the air.
That was a great win by Tylenol. A perfect kill, actually, for him. Looks like 2 dead for Spacestation. Ball's out scoreboard.
Ball over towards scoreboard then. Scoring even more points all the while. It's going to be so frustrating for Spacestation. A few more misplays. They only have a couple of more pushes here, Jen. They're in big trouble of losing round 1.
You know, it's not over till it's over, you know? They just got to get one solid push in and just slay them out, because they are holding A. They have nowhere to play that ball, so they just need to get a nice coordinated push, slay out, and they should be able to translate that to some ball time, hopefully. But they're slowly running out of time.
It's not over until the fat jersey sings. That much is for damn sure. Ball down over towards that window area, and here does come that push. 3 dead. They've broken the setup, Spacestation. They need to get some points here, Jen.
Oh yes, that is exactly what Spacestation needed. Hopefully they can get a decent amount of ball time here. They just need to hold their position, hold that sandbag area. Looks like Ace is fighting off, running back to regain his shield. Flazen is the one holding down the sandbags now.
Spacestation can ill afford to make any more misplays in round 1. G1 only requiring 14 seconds, and when you're losing pivotal 1v1s like that to Marbs, you're in big trouble. Ace falls. A stick grenade, though, on the way out will claim another victim. Marbs has picked up the overshield, and again, they only need 14 seconds here. Don't need to no desperation on the ball, though, because they can play around with it. With only a minute left in the clock, they can simply play Slayer here, Jen.
Oh, yes. Marbs grabbing that overshield, actually, I think, opened up an opportunity for him to bring this ball on the C plat here. This might be all she wrote for this first round of Oddball.
Spacestation spawning up all the way over the opposite side of the map, and That ball is going to tick over all the while. 100 seconds. Round 1 goes to G1. What a start that was. And we have an upset on the cards here. Space Station, they're back against the wall in round 2, and they need to claw it back here or they're going to lose game 1. Underway then with Ali. What can he do to maintain this advantage over Space Station? You can't afford to start slow, particularly in pools. Every game matters. Every single win can make sure you have a better seed and play against potentially some weaker opponents. You do not want to lose game 1 here because that might fry the mentals, Jen.
Oh, yes, I agree with you 100%. I think Space Station just really needs to get the next overshield. I'm not sure if they got any overshields the last round. Oh, did I just see a ninja?
I mean,
in the kill feed.
The kill feed said ninja. We didn't see it so much, but it definitely happened.
Oh, my goodness.
Overshield, though, once again. Marbs has picked up back-to-back overshields, albeit in different rounds. This is why they're seeing so much success, Jen.
Oh, yes, he's grabbed every single overshield, and if you look at the scoreline, he has 92 seconds of ball time. So he's actually putting in the work. Gets a nice double kill on Ace there. Going for the triple, gets a triple kill.
Marbs.
That heat wave.
Heat wave, triple kill to boot. Overshield really squeezing every last bit of juice out of that overshield he possibly could to maintain this advantage. And they've got ball set up again over towards A, and we've seen how difficult it was last time for Space Station to break it. They have got a 3-man versus 2 here, so numbers advantage in their favor momentarily, but they're taking so long to get there. That man advantage is going to be cut short. 2 dead then for G1. 2 dead for Space Station, but importantly here, Tylenol has the ball in his hands. Over towards scoreboard. 2 members go down here for the G1 push. That means Squally and Pre-Devonair are going to have to do is hold fast for the moment, wait for the teammates to spawn back up. Otherwise, they'll be running face first into a full Space Station 4.
All right. Space Station actually set up for this next overshield. If they're able to get it, I think, you know, they can get pretty ahead in this round. And this is exactly what they need. They can't afford to miss any more overshields. They can't afford to miss any more power weapons coming up. They just really need to play like perfect Halo, basically, to win this round.
It's hard not to point out the overshield has been the reason why they're struggling so much. They haven't been able to get their hands on it. And like we say, Marbs has picked it up the last 2 moments, but 4 dead momentarily. That's going to mean an overshield for the first time in a long time for Space Station. Zion's got it in his hands, heading towards sandbags. This is exactly what you talked about, Jen. He needs to control right here, right now.
Yes, I love this play by him, going up to sandbags, grabbing the Mangler, just being a menace to society up here, not letting anyone cross this 50-yard line. He got a couple members of G1 actually, they're all flying at him in scoreboard, forcing him to run pillars. I love this play by Space Station, rotating the ball actually back green rather than staying in A.
What's super important as well, it looks as though he hasn't been able to do much with that overshield, Jen, but in actual fact, he had 2-3 members of G1 all focused on him at that moment in time. So all that time, they're scoring up 3 points, and their lead is doubled here in round number 2, and they need this round right here, or they're going to go down in game 1.
I agree with you 100%. Even though he didn't get any kills with that overshield, he didn't allow the other team to get it and rack up more points. You know, I'd rather Space Station get the OS and just waste it and have everyone on the other team focus him than, you know, the other team getting the OS.
He didn't perhaps get the flashy plays that you might hope, might wish and dream for. There was no triple kills and him going on a run, but able to maintain the focus of the other team. Sniper rifle now in the hands of Ace. What can he do? That's exactly what he can do. Pop the wig of 1. And he also used the repulsor, the force push to send another. Goes and line up that second shot, but he is ultimately shut down this time by Ali. Sniper rifle completely out of ammunition, so it will not come back to bite him. And it looks as though Flazen's got another fresh sniper rifle too, but commonly Ali has got the heat wave in his back pocket to pick up 1. So 2 dead momentarily here for Space Station, but they only need 18 more seconds to tie up this oddball game.
I'm loving these plays out of Ali. The ball's out in the open, so they just need to get a round of slays before they can go for it and hopefully rack up some points and catch up here, because they're down by quite a few points, not gonna lie, but anything can happen. Great kills here out of Ali again. Still has the heat wave in his back pocket. Oh, SSG with another OS grab. That was huge. Unfortunately, wasn't able to do anything with it, but
back-to-back overshields then for Space Station. So they're starting to heat up. That's exactly what they needed to do. Getting caught cold a little bit in round 1. But have they woken up now in this California heat? Killing spree, double kill for Ali. That's going to be huge now to open up the door for some more points. The possibility to close that gap, cut that deficit down now. Requiring 32 seconds to tie up this round. They have that set up now. 2 members do go down for G1 momentarily. That means they're going to have to drop the ball and play a little bit of defense. Damage control as Ali flies out once more with the heat wave. Cooks one to particle dust. Tylenol's also back down towards top middle. Ali's not messing around.
No, he's doing a great job playing his life there, using the repulsor and the heat wave, just firing shots, making sure that Space Station player doesn't push him.
Ali floating like a butterfly, stinging like a bee. I had to do it at least one time in the broadcast, and there it is. Squally gets one in the kill feed. Ali goes down, ultimately cut in half. But the damage has been done with that heat wave. Zion gets taken down, or takes down Pre-Devonator, excuse me. It's a full complement of players as Zion goes into the drink. No armbands down there, he's sunk.
Happens to the best of us, man.
Splish Splash, he's taking a bath, and that's going to hurt his team's chances, particularly now with the pressure being cranked on them. But 14 seconds required now. Make it 10. Have G1 got one final push to stop this ball from racking up the points? Unfortunately for them, it's in a really precarious position. It's all the way back tower. This should be, and is.
Should be around.
We're all tied up, 1-1. What a series we have in our hands already.
You know, I think Space Station finally woke up. I think that first round was like a little touch and go, you know, a little sloppy, but this one, man, they were definitely dominating, especially when they were grabbing the overshielded sniper most of the round.
These starting strats are going to be so important then for round 3. 2 members go down as we speak about that, though. Space Station falling left, right, and center. That's going to open up the door for another power-up for G1.
Looks like most of G1 is stuck bottom mid. But they were able to get that ball, but hopefully they're still set up for this OS, or at least not allowing Tylenol to push in here and grab it.
There's a party down bottom middle, and we weren't invited, Jen, for the moment. Overshield has just popped up. Who's going to be able to secure that for their team? 2 members go down for G1, and only one being Flazen on the side of Space Station. So Overshield will transition towards Ace. What can he do with it? Heatwave in the back pocket. We're seeing Ali play so well there, just milking his life for as long as possible around that pillar, just frustrating Ace all the while. And that means Overshield only gets 1 kill and ultimately gets taken down, Jen.
Looks like players are going down left and right on both sides, Space Station and G1. Zion holding down A actually gets taken out. 2 dead for Space Station. Got Tylenol being a sneaky little beaver, bottom mid, pushing into A. Trying to get a little flank on Ali, who has the sniper rifle, takes out Pre-Devonator, challenging for the double, gets a double, looking for the triple on scoreboard.
Unable to lock in that triple kill.
Still love that play out of Tylenol, though.
Huge plays out of Tylenol, and he's the reason why he was the one to watch for this game, the damage dealer. But having said that too, Jen, 54 seconds of Oddball, so he's chipping in when his team need him too.
Oh no, he's doing an absolute great job slaying and doing the OBJ. This man, what can he do?
The other side of things, Zion having a little bit of a struggle, particularly in round 3 here. 2 kills, 3 deaths, and only 4 seconds of Oddball time. So I think when you're seeing the likes of Tylenol play so well, and Zion maybe having a little bit of a slower game here in round 1, you maybe look for him to pick up that ball and pick up the slack there, Jen.
Oh, for sure. But as you can see, he has 4 assists as well. So he is putting the damage in, but he just can't translate to kills of his own. But as long as he's putting the damage in and his teammates can clean up, I think that's just fine. As long as he has some map presence. Great kill there.
Map presence deleted for a moment though. He'll be back with us momentarily. Ace positioned over towards scoreboard. Not going to see another overshield for another minute or so. So he's in a little bit of a no man's land here. They know exactly where he is. Pre-Devonator desperately trying to stay alive, unable to do so. Combination of Ace and Tylenol will get the job done. Ali set up towards back tower here. Has to back down and play his life. Ball rotating out. He's not going to play here as Squally. That could be a misplay from him. 41 seconds of unanswered time for G1 there momentarily. Pre-Devonator last man alive, but now they've got that full tower set up because that ball was not played, Jen.
Oh yeah, that was very detrimental for G1 not being able to play that ball, and he was right there too. So hopefully they're able to get a nice spot and push this quick and not allow Space Station to get any more points.
Historically, we have seen when players don't play ball, no matter what the game, whether it be Halo 3, cough, Wes clutch, or whether it be Halo Infinite, it's always important to drop that ball off the map, particularly when you're getting pressured. You don't want to hand over the best setup to the team, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. Because that ball wasn't played,
oh my
this
goodness.
game's almost tied up, and Flazen starting to find some faces. Game slows down then for just a touch, while G1 try and settle themselves, organize this push, coordinate with one another. Unfortunately for them, 2 members have gone down in the meantime. Pre-Devonair loses the shield.
Great shots there.
Finishes off that kill. Beautiful stuff from him. The 3v3 ball will ultimately get played, but a killing spree locked in for Flazen.
This is great positioning for Flazen.
Oh!
Watching this overshield with a sniper, just not letting G1 do anything here, actually. It decides to fly out like a maniac. Takes out members of G1 and secures that overshield. What a great play from Flazen. That was insane.
Flazen using that sniper rifle, but not afraid to get his hands dirty. Getting up close and personal. Looking to trade. Shot for shot. Punch for punch. Can he land that haymaker with his team? 67 here to 42 in our round 3. You lose this round, you lose the game, and G1 have looked so good, making a fight of it with Flazen with that overshield. That's going to be enough insurance for him as he tries to line up that shot by the middle. Unable to find the face though.
Ace with a nice AR play, able to, oh, he almost got away with that ball actually. Looks like 2 dead for Spacestation. Able to push in from Nest. Gonna have to get like a round of slays here before they can pick up the ball.
Important to note as well, just over 2 minutes and change left on the clock. So Spacestation, if they require to, they can leave the ball down and milk this as much as they need to. And with 2 kills traded out for G1 and Spacestation respectively, as Marbs wins that one against Tylenol. Man advantage ever so slightly in the favor of G1, but that's only because Pre-Devonair spawned up, so it's still a scrap down over towards tower. Ball has been played, 68 to 47, 145 left on the clock.
Good play there by Marbs, playing the ball. But unfortunately, Spacestation actually got the respawn and was able to bring it back A.
Fortune favors Spacestation here as they close in on map 1 win. Ball, though, has transferred for the moment over towards G1, looking to close that gap, 24 seconds or so. It's actually 25, but I'm bad at maths. Do not highlight that. Let it go in the chat. Please don't roast me. Ball down over towards scoreboard, though. Marb soars out over top Mangler and Sandbags. He's looking to get scrappy with it. He wants to make a fight of it. Overshield has been dropped. That could be huge. This next overshield, Jen, it's in Zion, but he's actually dropped it down 2. It's all up for grabs, and 3 members positioned from G1 over towards that overshield.
It looks like G1's, oh, I spoke too soon. I thought G1 was gonna grab that overshield, but Tylenol. This could be game if they play their cards right. He has OS, sniper is up.
Lovely shots from Tylenol. Focuses that one player that was weakest, picks up the sniper rifle, and you can see them scampering immediately. Pre-Devonair knows his team are in big trouble of losing game 1, only requiring 26 seconds now, and you can see the exact intentions that they have now. Tylenol has sniper rifle. He's going to get the information they're spawning over towards green when it's all quiet towards garage as he finds the body of 2, and that's going to stop that push.
Beautiful plays by Tylenol here. Just sitting top tower, like we said, just not letting G1 push across at all. This could be game.
If you want to get over towards tower, you're going to have to pay a hefty price, because Tylenol's not letting anybody get over here for free as he takes every single one of those players' shields, gets some kills as well. They're going to close out game 1. It was close. It was hairy for a moment, but Spacestation get the job done in our game number 1.
I'm not going to lie, I was a little nervous there after round 1.
It wasn't looking good.
It was not looking good.
They were shaky. They started off a little bit cold, and we spoke about it. You can't afford to do that against some of these teams.
No, for sure. But fortunately for them, round 2, wide awake.
I'm wide awake. That reminds me of a song somewhere along the lines. People know in the chat. Round 2, round 3 was business as usual. They looked bad in patches, it was said. Maybe that's because of G1. They forced them into positions they didn't want to be in. But ultimately, they got the job done in round number 1. And when we take a look at the stats, we'll see exactly what way it shook out. We spoke about before the series, Tylenol was going to be super important for this team, and we've seen why, picking up that overshield at the end of the game.
Oh, for sure. And I want to highlight Flazen, especially.
Absolutely.
Like sitting top tower with the sniper and Tylenol, just holding that power position with the sniper rifle, not letting G1 basically do anything. It was great gameplay there by them.
G1 not allowed to breathe in round 2 and 3, but did you see enough in that game number 1 that you think maybe the Slayer could go their way?
I just want to say Tylenol and Flazen, it's going to be hard to shut those guys down. Like, when they have that confidence, they're just going to soar. And when you're playing on your back leg, like, it's going to be hard to come out on top there.
Yeah, certainly they were on the ropes, particularly in that when you've seen those shots Tylenol was hitting towards the end, popping the shields, those 2 players on Sandbags. And of course, it's not the flashiest. You don't get the headshot to get that kill, and we don't get to scream about it, but it's enough. If you pop those shields, it stops that push, Jen.
Oh, yeah, for sure. The teamwork, especially, like, all he had to do was put a body in, and then he knew his teammates were just going to clean that up and just leave everyone on G1 on the death screen. So
cracks those shields. You see Flazen in the kill feed pick up those 2 kills. So communication on point for these 2 teams, or this team in particular. As we look at the series layout, 2-1 confirmation of live fire Oddball. Up next, like we spoke about, Slayer. Everybody has a chance on Slayer. You have that puncher's chance. Slayer on streets, I don't even think it's safe to say puncher's chance, because I've seen enough from G1 that they're going to be a problem for Spacestation here.
Oh, I agree 100%, especially if they come out as strong as they did that round 1. They just need to keep that energy and that momentum, and they could take this game off of them.
Confidence-wise, you look at it and you see we performed really, really well. We've never played these guys before, so there's no reason, given the evidence of the first game, why we can't make a real series of this after game 1 being so close. With Slayer Streets, it's so important. We've seen them making it really scrappy at times, and that can be important, particularly on streets. So game 1 in the books then. Spacestation take game 1 as we look towards Slayer on streets as their second game, and some of the things that can be really important in the Slayer, it's going to be that rocket launcher, Jen.
Oh yeah, for sure. You know, in round 1 of the Oddball, G1 did a great job setting up for that overshield, but towards like the end of the match, Spacestation was just all over the power weapons and like the power-ups. So, you know, whoever gets that the rocket launcher and the shotgun, I think, is going to dominate this game.
We criticized early in the Oddball game Spacestation for not picking up the power weapons, and it has to be said, they must have heard us, because
I think so too.
From then on out, you know, maybe we should be looking for a cut. We're doing Kyle's job here. We're looking for 5% each. That's what we're looking to do here. Invoices will be in your inbox imminently. So they get the job done eventually. They get their hands on the overshield. And is that bad news then when you look at game 2 and particularly in that Slayer? Are they starting to heat up at the right time?
I think they are starting to heat up at the right time. You know, round 1, it's not like game point. Like, you can afford to lose like the first round, but the second round, the third round, that's what's most important, because then you can take that momentum and just push it through the rest of the series. So I think Spacestation, you know, might take this second game. I think they will take that momentum from round 2 and 3 of Oddball and just power through, honestly.
It's also very important to note, if you want to support some of these teams, if Spacestation is your favorite team, you can buy their skins in-game if you want to. Look how nice it looks too.
Woo.
A little bit of black, a little bit of yellow in the background, that gold visor as well. Cash money, that's all you need. Get yourself to support the team, and of course that helps towards crowdfunding. We've already seen the prize pool for this regional alone go up by $25,000, so that is some serious dollar bills. So if you want to see them, how they look in-game, take a look at this. And there you have it. There is those beautiful skins. I'll tell you something that's after happening to me, Jen, rather embarrassingly, is that I was spending so much money on in-game items that my girlfriend said, listen, you're not trusted with that credit card anymore. Give that to me. So I'm spending far too much money. I single-handedly alone might be putting in 25k for this prize pool.
I mean, I'm right there with you. Honestly, I had to detach my credit card from my Xbox account because I was spending way too much money. And I don't even use half the skins that I buy. I'm not going to lie.
This is what happens. I see a really nice BR skin. Oh, shiny thing. I want to wear that. And then another one comes out. And I'm like, okay, I need to get my hands on that, obviously, too. I'm rocking that samurai armor skin that from the Tenrai event. Really, really nice stuff. And it's all purple and pink and blue. It's exactly what I need to do. It almost looks exactly like Streets, actually. Look at that as a nice little caveat. These weapons are going to be so important. Look at that rocket launcher. Only has 2 in the chamber, but it can do some serious damage and punch a hole in any team's defense.
Yeah, you know, we put a lot of emphasis on the rocket launcher, but what I love going for, personally off spawn, is going for that thruster pack. As an H5 kid, I love having that as like a free getaway. You know, I like to challenge everything, so I will thrust away at the last possible moment when I'm not going to win this gunfight. So that is my go-to on this map.
Thruster pack can be so important. We've even seen that be utilized on Aquarius as well, being a really useful way of getting away. That mechanic set up over towards Pizza, you can see how important it can be. Other things that we can see on the map as well, those plasma grenades, not as important as something like the drop shield and the bulldog, but we're underway in our game number 2 of pool play. Game 1, Tylenol on board with him. He performed so well in that game 1. They're going to trade out 1 for 1 off the start, 2 for 1 here momentarily now, but who's got their hands on that rocket launcher?
I'm glad we're off the bat with Tylenol here because he is just a menace on the map. We saw his KD and his stats before this series started, so I'm excited to see what kind of crazy stuff this guy can pull off here.
Tylenol raised in these streets, molded by them. No sign of the rocket launcher just yet, so they might have been used at some point and perhaps we missed it, but red gun here in the hands of Pre-Devonator. Set up over towards top nest. He has the overlook of the whole map. Those sight lines for him now extended. It's going to slow down for just a touch. These two teams giving each other all the respect in the world. We're seeing them change position here just to change up that line of sight. Perhaps information's come through and that's why we're seeing players not peek out for him. We're seeing briefly for a moment Flazing with that drop style get himself out of harm's way, but it wasn't for long. Zion's been put under serious pressures. He's been taken down, so we're seeing a trade come back and forth, but G1 momentarily have a 2-kill advantage here. Great
shots there by Pre-Devonator. I actually loved how he just sat top nest with that stalker rifle. You know, he didn't have to push anything. He can just call out to his team where everyone was. You can kind of see a lot of points on the map, and with the stalker rifle, you can literally just snipe people. It's just such a great weapon and a great position to hold with that weapon.
It's fantastic when you see players having that discipline to just sit in one position. I have this issue where I just hold forward at all times. If I'm not moving, I feel like I'm not playing the game. So I have to be running at all times, Jen.
Oh, that is me. That is why I love Halo 5 so much. And this game, because I just love sprinting, holding forward.
What we're seeing Marbs do. Not sprinting or holding forward here. In fact, strafing wide left, getting a wide angle here on that rocket launcher as it's just popped up. And that can be very important. But G1 taking a decent lead here, almost double the kills. Rocket launcher going into the hands of Marbs 2. So big trouble here for Spacestation early on.
Oh yes, they are down by 6. Take out the rocket launcher, which is huge. If they are able to pick this up, they can probably, tie this up.
Ace has picked up that rocket launcher, popped the shields. Fortunately for him, Flazing on hand to get that kill. Those two have been working really well together, particularly in game 1. Looking to change the angle here, and like this from Ace. Last he was heard and seen was over towards the B stairs. That flank over towards purple and neon has caught them unawares, and that cafe pinch was beautiful.
That was a great play by Space Station. I think they knew that they were going to spawn PD. Had 2 players push that B street, 2 pushing pink, and just absolutely collapsed. G1 did not stand a chance there, honestly. That was a great push by Space Station.
G1 caught a little bit cross-eyed there, not understanding exactly what happened, and to be fair, I'm not sure I would have too. Rocket launcher rains down death and destruction from Cafe, and that's exactly why it was momentarily a 15-8 game, Jen. Now it's 18-6. That one set of rockets, when Marbs dropped them, that's what it's resulted in. They've already clawed themselves right back into things.
We're in a little bit of a standoff here. I see G1 trying to push this pink street, trying to get a pick. Tylenol just flying with his AR, gets the kill. Almost gets the double kill. That would have been huge. Squally with a double. Up by 3. Oh my,
lost the reload, lost in the lights. And he's going to lose his life as Squally, but that life was particularly valuable for him as he got himself a double kill in that engagement. We're seeing that assault rifle being used, and we spoke about being a Halo 5 kid, and that weapon was the bane of my existence for a long time, and you can see why It can be so powerful in those close quarter engagements. Rocket launcher about to pop once more. G1 have just eked out a lead once again. Will the Rockets be important as they were last?
Oh yes, for sure. Marv's actually holding down Tower 2, watching over for this rocket launcher. Drops down, probably is able to get it. Right after he takes out Ace.
Ace paying no attention to the man, putting all sorts of damage into his side. Maybe perhaps thinking, I need to guarantee this kill that I'm focused on, but not looking to do any more damage. Flazen picks up those rockets. That's going to be detrimental then to G1 once more, and that's exactly why we're seeing once again Space Station clawing themselves right back into things here.
Oh, for sure. I'm surprised Marbs actually didn't grab that rocket launcher before pushing that pink street, allowing Flazen to actually pick up the rockets and push behind him there, but
Flazen says thank you so much. Picks up a free set of rockets, almost uncontested because perhaps tunnel vision kicked in. Escapes with his life here over towards Arcade. Just waiting for his shields to regen. 4 kills now, the difference between these two teams. Space Station were to win it here. They put themselves real daylight between these two teams and would be on match point essentially. So it's so important here for G1 to get on the board. You do not want to go down 2-0. You need to do it here and now. And you have that kill advantage. We've seen the game slow down at times already. Now a 5-kill game. Rockets in another 40 seconds or so. You see the respect these two teams are giving one another. Not that many engagements go down. Pre-Debonair against 1. Can he turn 2? Flazen's in big trouble. Back Tram. And here comes the cavalry. Flazen says, no, sorry about that. I thought this was the bathroom, and he dips himself out of there real quick. He knew he was in trouble. Unfortunately for him, eventually he gets taken down. A 6-kill game here momentarily. Rockets about to pop. These next few slays are going to be so important as to which team's going to get their hands on them.
Looking at Squally here, he's actually 12, 7, and 7. So he's got like a ton of slays and a lot of assists on the board. So he has a really great map presence, just being an absolute menace for Space Station right now.
I don't know how any player uses that Sentinel Beam. When I use it, it immediately tries to head for the clouds. I'm not able to control it, but he has got the rocket launcher in his back pocket. Splash damage goes through. And a lovely slide from Zion gets that kill onto Squally. So still a 6-kill game here. Rockets weren't as important as we thought they would be, but he certainly made sure they could maintain this lead. Pre-Debonair's got that bulldog and it's got a nasty bark. Seen the game slow down once more. This next kill could be so important, particularly if Space Station get it, to put G1 on a bit of a spawn rotation. Ace gets back down over towards tower. Information's going to come through that Pre-Debonair is over towards tiles. Ace is in big trouble once more as this pinch comes through. He's isolated over towards tower. Teammates not in a position to help him. And that is why he loses his life in that battle. And we're seeing now Space Station trying to scarp her away. They're in big trouble.
Thailand with a double kill. That was huge. Trying to close this gap.
Too much time passed between the two to make it a triple kill. But he's trying to claw his team right back into this. Still a 5-kill game. And if G1 need to, they can trade their way to victory in this game 2 to tie up the series. The game slows down once more.
Looks like all of G1 is trapped. Inside Dram. If Space Station has a nice push here, I think they have a shoddy. If they're able to push into this and get 4 dead, this could be, you know, the momentum they need to close out this game. And there it is.
In big trouble. I've never seen when a team turtles up, it be to their favor. 2 kills go the way of Space Station. All 4 still alive.
Tie game.
They didn't manage to trade out a single kill. That push was flawless. We're all tied up. These next kills going to be so important. 1 second until that next set of rocket launchers as well. G1 have to get their hands on it to stop this momentum. Space Station all singing from the same hint sheet. Firing on all cylinders. Zion trapped towards back base. Can he get this kill? He stopped firing for a moment there. Almost giving him the chance to survive. Trusts himself out of harm's way. No, all that carnage goes down. Pre-Debonair and Squally combine. Now G1 only require 1 more kill after those unanswered kills from Space Station as Pre-Debonair fires that rocket over towards Cafe, and that will be enough to tie up this series 50-44. Space Station just didn't have enough in the tank in the end.
No, they did not, but a phenomenal job by G1 there. I think Squally had 16 kills by the end of that game.
It's so easy to get nervous when you get yourself a kill advantage it gets pegged back. You get yourself another kill advantage, and it gets pegged back once more. Mentally, you can almost crumble at times when you see them start to claw back. When it got to 44 apiece, they were in big, big trouble, but they managed to clutch up at the right times.
Oh, for sure. And Squally, I loved his discipline at the end. You know, he could have soared in and just challenged literally everything there and like tram, and decided to fall back, play his life, and just get a couple picks off. And I think that's what really, you know, won them the game.
Taking a look at the stats, things are jumping off the page. I'm seeing Zion in the Slayer having 14 deaths and only having 7 kills. That's never going to be the recipe for success for your team if you're going to win a Slayer game type. Try as you might, Tylenol just couldn't get the job done. But on the other side of things, we're looking at Squally, 16 kills, 10 assists and 10 deaths. He had a serious game there to claw his team back into the series.
No, great job by Squally. I think Ali actually had a lot of assists too. I think assists across the board were great, but unfortunately for Space Station, they just couldn't finish the kills.
Just couldn't get the job done in the end. They got themselves right back into things. It looked as though the writing was on the wall for G1, but like we said, they clutched up at the right times. And with players like Squally coming up big like that, and now all of a sudden they're back into this series, do you see an upset in the cards?
Honestly, I had Space Station taking this whole thing, but after that last game, I might be changing my mind. I'm not going to lie.
So Jen's prediction at the start, if you remember, I'll let you know, 3-1. But she did predict that G1 will win the Slayer. So we're right exactly where she expected us to be. So big brain plays out of Jen. She knows exactly what she's talking about. As we look over towards game 3, we'll get confirmation of exactly what way the series is shaking out already, of course, 1-1 apiece here. This next map's going to be so important, particularly for the momentum in this game.
Oh yeah, I think coming off that win G1, you know, they can keep this momentum going and win the Strongholds recharge. I think that's what they needed, you know, the morale boost. Hopefully Space Station, you know, took that loss. They're like, man, like, we should have won this. So maybe they can pull their pants up, you know, and be like, we need to win this, dude. Like, we shouldn't be losing this.
Never play Halo with your pants down. Always have them up. It's a rule of thumb.
Oh, for sure.
Always have your pants up. As we jump into recharge, we spoke about previously how important these things can be. The likes of the sword, the grapple hook, the sword, of course, it's so important. It's particularly if you get it over towards that pipes area, it can be detrimental for any team. With the way the series is shaking out so far, are you still trusting your gut Space Station have enough to get the job done?
I think they got what it takes. I'm not gonna lie. You know, if they take that loss and they're like, man, like, we need to pull ourselves together, I think, you know, they can come in like super heavy on this. You know, there's a lot going on this map. There's a sword, like you said, there's a shock rifle, there's a mangler. You know, I think they have the firepower, the manpower to just completely dominate this game.
Here we go then. Game 3 of this best of 5 in pools. The regionals have already gotten off to a hot start. G1 looking to make a serious game of things here. Tylenol trapped down towards bottom middle. He had that mangler, could have almost got the trade. Unfortunately for him, he missed that melee. Slays go in favor momentarily of Space Station. Only ever so slightly though. And a triple cap momentarily and a camouflage importantly for Pre-Devinator.
Doing a great job holding this elevator position. Ace flew at him with the assault rifle, unfortunately fell for him, but we got Pre-Devinator with the mangler making his way downtown towards the C Stronghold.
Making his way downtown, walking fast. Bullets pass. He's not homebound, he's been put in the ground. 2 members go down then for G1. 2 also for Space Station. But importantly to note, 2 Strongholds still in control of G1. It looks as though they're going to trade A for C here. So although the numbers were against them there, Jen, they maintain control of the scoreboard.
Oh, yes, they did. Tylenol doing a great job holding this attic position. Trying his best not to let G1 push in here.
Tylenol trying to download information. Looking for communication from his teammates. Zion, though, completely unaware. Ali was lurking behind him in the shadows. Gets that kill. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. Looking towards B now. Ace gets taken down, but he's done enough there to capture B for his team, but will only be for a moment. As a double kill gets locked in. Flazen gets himself out of dodge. Ali's on a tear.
Great play and communication from G1. Like, Ali literally just flew out top tower, was in that power position, flew out, left it, and it was able to pick up a few kills along the way. So great communication from G1. He could have just flown out and just got absolutely melted.
And we're seeing G1, the first team to pass through that 50-point threshold. Strongholds looks to be a particularly strong game type for them here. They have Space Station reeling a little bit on the back foot. Perhaps they weren't expecting this team to come so hot and heavy out the blocks.
Oh, I don't think so either. They're getting the caps, but it seems to be like musical Strongholds, you know?
Yep. You capture one, you lose another. and around you go. All that time, you're losing points, and now we're seeing back-to-back camouflages for G1. They're controlling those power-ups again, Jen.
Oh yes, if you look at the stat line too, it looks like G1 is outslaying slightly, you know, Space Station. I know it's a little early in the game still, but this early games, just getting every single cam and all these kills, it definitely has a major impact on how the rest of the game is going to go.
If you can rack up enough points early doors, it really applies the pressure to the opposing team. In this instance, it's going to be Space Station who have it all to do. Still plenty of life left in this game, but pressure continues to be maintained by G1. Even when they lose the numbers, they spawn back up, they trade base. This might be the opening here. 4 alive for Space Station, 2 dead for G1. It's time for Space Station to take some control. As we say that, Ali picks up 2 in the kill feed. Space Station go down 2 players. We're seeing Strongholds transition once again. They get A, but B and C in control of G1 once more. They're playing so well here.
It looks like they're going to go for this A Stronghold as well.
They're greedy. They want it all.
Gets the win on Flazen. Almost gets the double kill on Tylenol. Can you clean that up? There we go. 2 in the A Stronghold. Looks like they're rotating back to B, trying to keep Space Station off that Stronghold.
If G1 were Thanos right now, they're trying to collect all the Strongholds, all those Infinity Stones. They're not happy with 2. They want all 3, and look how important it can be. 144 points already on the board. Space Station only with 11. Do they even know the game has started?
Unfortunately, Ace goes down there. He starts capping the Stronghold when there was only 1 dead for G1. Had the shock rifle in his back pocket. I don't know. I probably would have stayed up. Not that I'm a pro player or anything, or I know anything. You know, like I would have stayed up Attic. You know, gotten like at least a pick or 2. But Flazen with a camo shock rifle gets spotted. About to get double teamed. Hopefully he can play his life here.
Flazen gets himself out of dodge, and if I was in a situation, it's as simple as this. I get myself an overkill and win the game. It's
just that easy.
That's exactly all you need to do. I don't know why more players don't just get overkills. It's that simple.
That's crazy. You should coach, man.
But Space Station now have got some semblance of control, but as I say that, B starts to transition once more. G1 doing a great job in the scrappy moments, making sure that when the likes of the camouflage is starting to pop up, they have control of those strongholds. And you're seeing desperation plays. That is why we're seeing the likes of Ace trying to solo cap things.
Oh yeah, G1's doing a great job sticking together, you know, holding hands with at least one buddy and just, you know, plowing through Space Station, who unfortunately keeps getting caught alone.
Isolated once again. 3 dead though momentarily for G1. So we should see Space Station take control here, but again off the respawn. Squally trying to make a fist of it, trying to defend that B base with all he can. Tooth and nail, unfortunately for him. Flazen's going to pick it up. A and C momentarily in control of G1, or excuse me, of Space Station. They have got the reset 2 to boot. So we could see very quickly a triple cap on the first of the game for Space Station.
Yeah, hopefully they can hold these 2 strongholds. They can let C go. You know, you don't need a triple cap. But as long as they hold their power positions, Tylenol on the bat ledge with the shock rifle, he can just pick people going across to the A Stronghold, you know, try to get them on their death screen as much as possible to try and, you know, get the points to catch up, because they are down by quite a bit. In this game, it's so hard to catch up when, I don't know, this game is just so snowbally. Like, if you're down by a lot of these points, like, it's so hard to come back, but it's not impossible, I believe.
Jen believes.
I do believe.
Not in a thing called love, but in Space Station, that they can get themselves back into this game.
Anything can happen, man.
Camouflage once more in control of G1, this time in the shape of Ali. That's been significant and a story we can tell all series long thus far. So when Space Station have found themselves on the back foot, it's because they haven't controlled the power weapons. Flazen picks up a couple of kills over towards A, but we're seeing Ali now creep ever so slowly. You got the pink mist in the back pocket as well. Beautiful stuff out of Ali. Can he turn 2? Tylenol doing it the best he can, but the Needler gets the job done.
Able to play his life here with the grapple hook. Unfortunately gets double teamed, gets taken down, but that was a great play by Ali there. That was huge. Still have the triple cap.
Triple cap then.
Pre-Deminator with a double kill. Unfortunately, Ace and his teammate were in a bit of a pickle. One shot there, bottom elevator.
You never want to be in a pickle.
You do not want to be in a pickle.
That's your pickle Rick. That's okay. Ace over towards pipes. He gets back down, and Pre-Deminator gets that information. So player situated over towards bottom tower, and he puts him in the dirt too. So 3 dead now for Space Station. and only 25 seconds to close out game 3, excuse me, for G1.
And with a triple cap.
They could take the series lead here and be on match point very, very shortly. If Space Station don't get their act together, they only need 10 more seconds.
They need a nice solid push from Space Station here. They just need to run together and pick a stronghold, honestly. It looks like they're going for B.
They're going for B, but they're losing A in the meantime. We're seeing G1 play this perfectly so far. They've gotten A and C. They only need 5 more points. Space Station need to make a coordinated push for 1 stronghold here, but that's going to force the spawns elsewhere. They've got inside A. That's going to be enough to keep them alive here.
But for how long, though?
They're on the thinnest of ice.
They are on the thinnest of ice here.
Wait for thin ice. The old cliche rings through once more. Perfect halo from here on out. No more mistakes. 2 go down here for G1. Make it 3. This is exactly what you need to see. G1, they have all the time in the world here. They just need to not panic. But finally, Space Station have a camouflage.
This could be, you know, the tide turning. He has a camo and a mangler sitting bottom elevator. They could go for this triple cap, try and, you know, rack up some points a little faster. But honestly, I think they should just try and hold B and A, not get too cocky here.
It's an important point, isn't it? Because if they go for that triple cap, they leave themselves vulnerable. It's a risk-reward factor. They need to keep control of the map. Ali gets 1, though, and that's going to mean the push is going to come through A side. 2 go down for Space Station. Make it 3. They're in big, big trouble of losing game 3 here and going down in the series. G1 are momentarily going to be on match point, and indeed they are.
Woo.
We spoke about an upset being possibly on the cards, and through Ali, these boys are playing out of their skin. They go up 2-1 in the series.
That was great gameplay by G1, you know, grabbing every single camo, except for the one towards the end. But, you know, it just wasn't enough. You know, they just played great Halo, beginning, middle game, and even the end game. You know, you can't compete with that.
At no point did they seem to let the foot off the gas. There was no real moments, no shaky wobbles where Space Station got themselves a huge chunk of time. G1 kept control of that game the entire time.
Oh, yes, they did. They did a phenomenal job. So it's going to be tough for, you know, Space Station to come back from this. But it's not impossible. You know, anything can happen. But I feel like in Halo Infinite, you know, once you're on your back leg, it's so hard to get forward, you know.
Mentally, it's going to be so hard for this team to recover. They're going down 2-1 in the series. It started off pretty well for them. I know in the Oddball game they started slow, but they got themselves back into things. But now all of a sudden, after that Slayer and after that Strongholds game, they're in real trouble of losing map number 1, or game number 1 in our pool play. They're in big trouble. They
are in big trouble. But, you know, I think if we go back there, you know, slap them around a little bit, wake up, man. Like, they could bring this back. Let's go.
You don't want that, all right? I don't want to get stuff on my shirt.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are pretty nice shirts, you know?
Look at them. Sizzle sticks. We haven't even seen a sizzle stick, so I'm so upset. It's like they put me on this broadcast knowing that I'm not going to get any sizzle sticks.
Isn't that the next match? Aquarius.
Good point. Good point.
We are going to see some
I
sizzle
take back
sticks.
what I said. I take back what I said. Aquarius, we spoke about how important it's going to be, and one of our favorite maps and game modes combinations. There's confirmation of how this series is shook it out so far in our Pool B. 2-1 game 1 Oddball, 50-44 Slayer Streets. G1 then rise to the occasion, 250 to 132 in a convincing fashion, it must be said. And we're jumping into Aquarius CTF.
Yes.
There is that thruster pack that you love.
Oh, yes, I love the thruster pack. But you know what? I might have to change my loyalties. You know, I was going for Space Station this whole time. I might have to switch to G1.
Oh,
you know, there's a...
I'm not sure that's fair. I don't think you can do that.
I can do what I want here.
Oh,
all right?
okay.
Okay, so there's a camo. G1, you know, historically speaking, they have been on top of, you know, like the power weapons, the power-ups. I feel like this might be a G1 game.
Do we just call for Elamite to get the sack? They're not getting the camouflages. Is that the reason? Should we go in this time camouflages for them?
Yeah.
It seems
Can we do that?
I mean, I don't see why not. Can we have bias? Well, you're with E United. You can't do anything like that.
True.
Yeah, unless you go into sabotage. I'm okay with that.
I mean,
you could do it.
just don't tell him.
Don't tell him.
Just don't tell him.
Aquarius CTF then. Game 4. Space Station in real danger of losing the first series of the day. They need to start here and not look back. Keep the foot down the entire time. Flazen's got that heat wave. That's going to be so important if his team's going to control car side.
Oh yeah, Flazen running around like a madman with a thruster pack and a heat wave. He's a man on the mission, honestly. He's just soaring around looking for some G1 to take out.
He looks ravenous. He wanted anything to jump in the crosshairs, but fortunately for him, nothing wanted to buy what he was selling.
Looks like someone grabbed the camouflage. I'm not sure which team actually was able to secure it.
Perhaps we got a burn. What we do in the meantime, have a flag pull. And it's going to be the first one of the game going in favor of G1 as Pre-Devonair comes in with that heat wave, but not able to do enough cooking. And now we're seeing Zion. Oh, look, Sizzle Sticks.
Sizzle Sticks.
Got his hands on those Sizzle Sticks. They're going to be pivotal in controlling this car side of the map. And we're seeing those getting sent in, tightened up players, snap, crackling, and popping those shields. Now Squally desperately trying to stay alive, unable to do so, but he did milk long enough to pop the shields of Zion. That will stop his push just a little touch.
That was a great play there. You know, he didn't push in, you know, when he was weak, but was able to push in with a heat wave.
Oh!
Gonna get this double kill.
Oh!
Dare I say it, he does. Great,
Zion
great map control here on the car side.
controlling that car. Now turning his attentions over towards P for those respawners. Pre-Devonair gets a couple of shots for his troubles into his shields. Goes out front base. We're seeing, unfortunately, Zion unable to get the finish after doing a lot of damage. So despite all that damage being done for Space Station, no flag pull.
You know, there's plenty of time, early game. You know, there's nothing wrong with statting a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, beginning of the game. It can only last so long, you know, you gotta win this game. They are on thin ice, like we said.
3 members down for G1 for a moment. Flazen, what can he do for his team? They need to win it here and now. They're staring down the barrel of elimination of this series. They can ill afford to make too many mistakes. Thruster pack picked up once more. We've seen it be so important as Halo Infinite's meta has developed. Just to change a fight, turning on its head. Put some people in some cross eyes.
It looks like Space Station has a nice push here. Tylenol holding up the P2, trying to like pick off some spawners. Looks like 2 members of G1 are on top of the base. You got 2 members of Space Station, looks like pushing in their car side. If they're able to pick off at least 1 or 2 more members, they should be able to get a flag pull here. There it is.
This is the second time we've now seen Space Station control that car side of the map, so they're huffing and they're puffing, just haven't been able to blow the house down just yet. 2 members of G1 positioned towards back base. They're going to be able to do enough. Pre-Devonator plays defense. He gets the job done. The Bastion defending home base. Zion coming off the respawn is going to help his teammate get that kill top middle, but early engagements have ever so slightly favored Space Station.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Space Station not being able to get any pulls there. It looks like they pushed that P spawners a little too fast because they kept spawning the back base, not allowing, you know, the people in their utility to push in and grab the flag. So need maybe a little more communication there, saying like, hey man, like don't go push P, like they're gonna spawn our back base here.
You just scream at the player, do not push that fridge, no matter what you do.
No pushing P, bro.
Stay off the P.
Stay off the P.
Squally though, trying to defend Closet, does so a decent job there to defend that for his team. Ali and Squally the last 2 alive for his team, but they are starting to venture out a little bit, getting a bit brave out of home base now after being pegged back for so long. But Squally hitting all 4 shots onto Ace, turns around, gets the cleanup too. And looking at his stats, 7 kills and 8 deaths. He's doing the best he can.
Oh yeah, Space Station is doing a great job putting the pressure on G1. They're kind of stuck in their own utility and back base most of the game, but the stat lines are relatively even despite that. So props to G1 there for playing some phenomenal defense, not allowing Space Station to grab their flag and make a run with it.
And as we flirt with the halfway point of this game, neither team really able to dictate the pace. It's been back and forth. They've been swinging haymakers, but they've been windmills and they haven't been able to connect just yet. We might see things change here as 2 members down now for Space Station. Flag pulled out. You see Pre-Devonair flirting with dropping down. Doesn't do so and killed from the fridge side.
That was almost very detrimental. G1 was in the base with camouflage and the meat wave, so that could have been, I mean, he put the shots in, unfortunately wasn't able to clean up anything, but I think if he lived there, that would have been a free flag through the car side.
Unable to get the flag over towards that car side then. And now, all of a sudden, G1 down in numbers. Space Station controlling the map once more. Marbs, though, with a bit of a backstab, trying to pinch from behind, does just that, gets 2 kills locked and loaded in. And now G1 all of a sudden have the advantage. Zion drops towards front base, not getting chased. I like that from Ali, trusting in his teammates. They were going to get the job done. Unfortunately for him, though, loses his life before being able to get it over the halfway point.
Squally opting to, you know, juggle the flag a little bit instead of dropping and slaying. And as I say that, Ego Chows wins that challenge.
The pistol coming up clutch.
That was a great play. He sniffs one near him. He's able to take him out. Let's see. Oh, there's one on the re. Unfortunate for Squally there, but that was a great play.
3 dead for G1. And once more, we're seeing 3 dead for Spacestation, 3 dead for G1. But still no real scoring being done by either team. Not able to get it over the halfway point. Not even flirted with getting it back towards their own base. So there's issues for both teams to adjust on the fly here.
I am liking the intensity, though, from both teams. And it looks like, oh, a camouflage is up. Ace actually has it. So hopefully they're able to translate this to some objective points. But we'll see.
Here's the first time we've gotten through the eyes and ears of the camouflage player. This time it's going to be Ace playing really patient. What can he do for his team? Puts damage down onto Marbs. Immediately gets called out, though. That information will come through. Camouflage is positioned over towards Car side. I like this from him. Unfortunately, though, Camo runs out of juice. No more batteries there. Double A is running low. And we can see the player outlines Pre-Debonair waiting for a player to push through. With that heat wave, putting down damage, unable to do anything with it, though. 2 members go down for G1, but again, 2 dead for Space Station.
Unfortunate. That could have been a very detrimental push for Space Station there. Pre-Debonair by himself, you know, in the utility. Ace had a good play and decided to, you know, wait for his teammates to help push up, other than so he didn't die for free. But they ended up getting a pull out of that. Hopefully, Tylenol's teammates, you know, can push up, apply some pressure. But it looks like he is left out in the cold there, unfortunately.
Chilly out there. Over towards Fridge. It was actually towards Car side. We're seeing Tylenol try to be the thorn in the side. Try to be a menace to society, getting behind enemy lines, but he was called out immediately. 2 members went back to clear him out. They knew exactly how important it would be to ensure they do not get slayed out, particularly when Tylenol's behind them to pull that flag. It would be almost a guaranteed cap. We're seeing Flazen push that Fridge side again, trying to get this kill, forcing it a little bit too much, and as a result, Pre-Debonair comes out on top.
That was a nice win for Pre-Debonair there, that 1v1. There's been a decent amount of 1v1s in this match. Not a lot of squads running together.
Now, we're seeing on the flip side, Space Station all of a sudden are the team pinned back in their own base, turning up a touch. Flazen goes down, but he's going to get traded out, and that's exactly what you need to do to defend your base. And we're seeing Zion down to no shields. 2 members go down now. Flazing and Zion hit the respawn screen. Tylenol on defensive duties once more. Needs to clear his own base. Squally, positioned bottom middle, eventually gets taken care of. Ali tries to do what he can. Unfortunately, it's not enough. And as we tip down the 3.5 minutes left in the clock, it's not impossible to say here, this next cap could be the winner.
I agree with you. 100%. We're on board with Ace here, sitting at 14, 13, and 13. Putting a lot of damage, as you can see, on all of the G1 players. Hopefully he has some teammates to help clean up.
3 dead, though. 4 dead now for G1. Space Station have to take control here and now. Marb spawns up back base. We've seen Zion throwing down some denial nades to try and claim that territory for his team. These next round of slays are going to be so important. 1 apiece. Trade back and forth. Pre-Debonair tries to get himself out of dodge. Ali gets taken down, as does Zion once more. It's 2 dead apiece. But we're seeing Marbs pushed out over towards this Car side. Tylenol putting down damage the entire time. Desperately trying to stay alive here is Marbs. Duck and dive his way out of trouble. As now is Tylenol as he turns the pressure right back on him. Trading shots back and forth, but nobody losing their life. Lovely Halo being played by both teams, but momentarily 3 dead. Tylenol last man alive over towards this P side, and now they have that information.
Yeah, G1 can definitely capitalize off of Tylenol being the only one alive. Unfortunately, a lot of spawners coming up, but still get the flag pull. They just need a couple slays and they can run this flag, and if they get this in, I feel like that's donezo.
Certainly looks, though, on the face of it, played so much time and had 0 flag cap, so could be very much golden cap here. 2 members go dead once more. Squally gets the flag moving once again. Flazen has OE'd over towards that Car side. He might be the only man that can make an influence here, and fortunately for him, he has got the heat wave, but somehow, some way, Squally stayed alive, and that could be pivotal now to making sure this flag stays alive.
Looks like both flags are out.
Both flags out, positioned over towards front base. Ace gets taken down. 2 go in favor of G1. We're going to see this flag get punched home. Nobody in position to take it. With only a minute left in the clock, G1 take the lead.
G1, all they need to do here is just keep getting slays, keep getting trades, and it'll allow, you know, Space Station can't get a pull. That's all they need to do is just slay out.
Slay out. No longer have to focus on the objective. Just make sure with kills like that from Ali, that you keep them out of your base, but they're looking for blood. They're going for a second cap here.
You know, if they get this past the halfway point, this might be the nail in the coffin for Space Station here. It looks like they are continuing to run this. Marb's doing a great job holding off Space Station here. Pre-Devinator getting it onto the jump up. This, oh my goodness gracious, he capped the flag. Okay, I'd say, I don't know, unless Space Station does some crazy, insane stuff, I feel like, you know, this is all she wrote.
This definitely is all she wrote. Put the pen down.
It's me, I wrote it, this is scripted.
Yep, Jen called it right here, right now. Post-mortem, not controlling the power-ups can be detrimental to your team's health. Time of death, well, right now, as 2 flag caps have already been secured, but look at this. G1 not happy with the 2 caps, Jen. They're going for blood.
Maybe they were just playing with them the whole time, you know, getting 3 flag pulls here.
So the 10-minute, lads, at the 10-minute mark, let's stop playing and let's just actually win the game.
Let's just win the game, you know. We've had our fun. But if you look at the stat line, Marb's 24, 8, and 17. Insane.
Marb's playing lights out, right when you need them to most, when you're on series point. And unfortunately for Space Station in this series, they haven't really been able to look impressive at any real points, and we're seeing that. Marbs, don't do it. Don't drop the bag. We don't need to see that sort of. Let's switch off that before it gets ugly. But G1 are going to win this game 1 of pool play. The perfect start for that team, and the upset, it came to fruition.
That was, I don't even know what to say. Honestly, I thought Space Station was going to take it, you know, but G1, you know, they put me in my place. I'm not going to lie, and Space Station, I guess.
Yeah, maybe our problem is with Space Station, not particularly with G1. So that's the predictions. It's Space Station's fault.
It is.
We have to give props to G1. Marbs in particular in that game, he went off, Jen.
Oh yeah, actually 3 members of G1, I believe, had more than 20 kills that entire match. And that was super detrimental to Space Station because you can't cap a flag when you're dead, you know?
And in the midpoint of the game, all slays were even for both teams. And like we said, they were back and forth, not able to dictate the pace of the game. And all of a sudden, they flick the switch and they score 3 caps.
Oh, for sure. No, a phenomenal job by G1. You know, they, just like the whole series, they just kept getting the camouflage. You know, they were grabbing the power weapons. And unfortunately for Space Station, I think that's the main reason why they lost this series.
Confirmation then. Live fire, Oddball 2-1. 40 to 50. 132 to 250, and then 0 to 3 for G1 in all 3 of those games to close out this series. I'm really impressed with this team, G1. That was really, really impressive. I feel bad for rooting against them. I'm sorry, dude. Like, that was crazy. They did a phenomenal job. Fantastic performance out of G1, it must be said, but now that game's over, it's in the books. We have some other games to look forward to. Pool plays are still ongoing. Games are happening all the time. Don't forget, if you don't particularly not interested in this game, A stream, B stream, which we are here thanks to Xbox. C and D stream still, they're not going to be casted, but if you want to watch the gameplays, if you're interested in some of those games, please do head over there and tune in. But up next, we're going to have Pioneers for XSET, and Tony and Shyway are going to jump on the cast. But I can't wait to watch. That's going to be so exciting. It's going to be an exciting game to watch, but that's all we have time for until we come back for game 3. So don't go anywhere. The boys will be back.